If you're over 70 and planning to fly internationally in 2026, you need to hear this. New airport rules across the world are quietly changing the game for senior travelers. Some countries are tightening restrictions, while others are rolling out the red carpet. What you don't know could cost you your trip. Welcome back to Immigration Fresh Updates, where we bring you the latest changes that actually affect your life. Today, we're talking about something that's being whispered about in airport lounges and travel forums but not loudly discussed. New regulations and policies in 2026 that could impact travelers over 70. Whether you're visiting family, relocating, or chasing your retirement dream abroad, understanding these rules is critical. In this video, we're counting down 7 countries where flying after 70 comes with special considerations, surprising advantages, or unexpected roadblocks. Some nations are making it harder, others are making it easier. And by the end, you'll know exactly where you stand and how to plan your next journey with confidence. Let's start with the United Kingdom, a country many seniors dream of visiting or even retiring to. In 2026, the UK hasn't introduced age-specific flight bans, but there are new health declaration requirements at major airports like Heathrow and Gatwick. If you're over 70, you may be asked to present proof of travel insurance that covers medical emergencies, especially if you're staying longer than 90 days. Why does this matter? The UK's National Health Service is under strain, and the government wants to ensure that elderly visitors won't become a financial burden. It's not about discrimination, it's about policy. But here's the good news. If you have comprehensive travel insurance and a return ticket, you're golden. The UK remains one of the most senior-friendly destinations in Europe, with accessible airports, excellent healthcare, and a culture that respects older adults. Additionally, if you're flying into the UK to visit family who are British citizens or settled residents, there's a fast-track visa process for parents over 65. The diplomacy here is warm. The UK values family reunification, and that works in your favor. So while there are a few extra hoops, the United Kingdom is still welcoming, especially if you come prepared. Just make sure your documents are in order, and you'll have no trouble enjoying your time in London, Edinburgh, or the beautiful countryside. Australia is a dream destination for retirees, snowbirds, and anyone looking to escape harsh winters. But in 2026, Australia has introduced stricter health checks for travelers over 70, particularly those applying for long-term visas like the Visitor Visa, Subclass 600, or the Temporary Retirement Visa. Here's what's new. If you're over 70 and applying for a visa longer than 6 months, you may be required to undergo a medical examination and provide a health insurance undertaking. This means proving you have insurance that covers at least AUD $500,000 in medical costs. It sounds intimidating, but it's actually a sign that Australia wants you there. They just want to make sure you're covered. Why is Australia doing this? The country's healthcare system is excellent, but it's expensive. The government wants to protect both its resources and you. Think of it as a safety net, not a barrier. And here's the silver lining. Once you meet these requirements, Australia offers one of the best senior travel experiences in the world. The airports are modern, the culture is friendly, and there are entire communities built around retirees living in places like Queensland and Perth. If you have family in Australia, the parent visa program is still one of the most generous in the world. It takes time, yes, but it's worth it. Australia respects family ties, and that diplomatic warmth is something you can feel from the moment you land. Canada has always been seen as a welcoming country, and that reputation holds strong in 2026. Even for travelers over 70. But there are some new guidelines you need to know about, especially if you're flying into Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal. In 2026, Canadian immigration authorities have updated their electronic travel authorization (ETA) system to include optional health screening questions for travelers over 65. It's not mandatory, but answering them can speed up your airport experience. These questions focus on recent medical history, mobility needs, and whether you require assistance during your flight or at the airport. Why does Canada care? Because they want to provide better service. Canada's airports are investing heavily in senior-friendly infrastructure, wheelchair access, medical stations, priority boarding, and even quiet zones for travelers who need a break. This is a country that sees senior travelers not as a burden, but as valued visitors who contribute to tourism and family unity. If you're planning to visit adult children who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents, you're in luck. The Super Visa allows parents and grandparents to stay for up to 5 years at a time, and it's one of the easiest family visas in the world to obtain. You'll need medical insurance, but once you have it, you're welcomed with open arms. Canada's diplomacy towards senior immigrants and visitors is rooted in family values, and that makes all the difference. Flying after 70 to Canada, you're going to be just fine. The UAE, especially Dubai and Abu Dhabi, has become a global hub for senior travelers and retirees. And in 2026, the country is doubling down on making life easier for older adults, including those flying in from abroad. Here's the exciting part. The UAE introduced a new Golden Visa for Retirees program, and it's open to anyone over 55 who meets financial requirements. But even if you're just visiting, UAE airports like Dubai International are rolling out VIP senior services, express immigration lanes, complimentary wheelchair assistance, and dedicated health checkpoints with on-site doctors. Why is the UAE doing this? Because they want your business, your tourism dollars, and your long-term residency. The UAE understands that retirees bring stability, spending power, and cultural richness. There's no age discrimination here. In fact, age is respected and honored in Emirati culture. If you're over 70 and planning to fly to the UAE, you'll find the process smoother than ever. The government has removed many bureaucratic barriers, and the visa process is fast, digital, and senior-friendly. You don't need a job offer or family sponsorship. You just need proof of savings or a pension, and you're in. The diplomatic tone here is clear. The UAE sees senior travelers as an asset, not a liability. Whether you're visiting for a few weeks or considering a retirement move, the UAE is one of the easiest and most welcoming countries in the world for travelers over 70. Portugal has become the #1 retirement destination in Europe, and it's easy to see why. In 2026, Portugal continues to offer one of the most senior-friendly immigration and travel environments in the world, and if you're over 70, this country wants you. There are no age-based flight restrictions. None. In fact, Portugal's airports in Lisbon, Porto, and Faro have introduced senior traveler assistance programs that include free porter services, priority check-in, and fast-track security for anyone over 65. It's a small touch, but it shows respect and care. Why is Portugal so welcoming? Because the country's economy thrives on tourism and foreign retirees. The government understands that older travelers bring stability, spending, and cultural exchange. Portugal also offers the D7 visa, a passive income visa perfect for retirees. If you have a pension or savings, you can move to Portugal and enjoy affordable healthcare, low cost of living, and a warm, sunny climate. The diplomatic message is loud and clear. Portugal values age and experience. The culture here respects elders, and that's reflected in how immigration officers, airport staff, and local communities treat senior visitors. There's no scrutiny, no suspicion, just warmth. If you're over 70 and looking for a European base, Portugal is one of the easiest countries to fly into, settle in, and feel at home. The doors are open, and the welcome mat is out. Mexico is a favorite for North American retirees, and in 2026, it remains one of the easiest and most affordable countries for seniors to fly into and live in. There are 0 age-based restrictions for travelers over 70, and the visa process is incredibly simple. If you're over 60, you can apply for a temporary resident visa based on pension income alone. You don't need a job. You don't need family. You just need proof of a steady income, and you're eligible for renewable residency. Mexico's immigration policy is built around attracting retirees, and the government has made it easier than ever. Why is Mexico so open? Because retirees are good for the economy. They rent homes, support local businesses, and don't take jobs from locals. The diplomatic relationship between Mexico and countries like the United States and Canada is also strong, and that translates into smoother immigration experiences. Mexican airports like Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, and Mexico City are well equipped for senior travelers. You'll find medical assistance, accessible facilities, and English-speaking staff. The culture is warm, The cost of living is low, and the healthcare system is excellent and affordable. If you're over 70 and worried about complicated visa rules, Mexico is your answer. The country doesn't just tolerate senior immigrants, it celebrates them. You'll feel welcomed from the moment you step off the plane, and the number one country where flying after 70 is not just easy, but encouraged? Costa Rica. This small Central American nation has built its entire retirement industry around welcoming older adults, and in 2026, it's better than ever. Costa Rica offers the Pensionado visa, which is designed specifically for retirees. If you have a pension of at least $1,000 per month, you qualify. That's it. No age limit, no health screening, no complicated paperwork. Costa Rica wants you, and they've made the process as simple as possible. Why is Costa Rica number one? Because the entire country is built around the philosophy of pura vida, pure life. The culture values happiness, health, and longevity. There are entire expat communities of retirees living comfortably on modest budgets. Healthcare is affordable and high quality. The climate is perfect, and the people are genuinely kind. Costa Rican airports like San Jose and Liberia are senior-friendly, with medical staff on site, accessible facilities, and fast immigration processing. There's no suspicion, no extra questioning, just a smile and a welcome. The diplomatic tone here is one of respect and honor. Costa Rica sees retirees as contributors, not burdens. If you're over 70 and looking for a place to fly to with zero stress, Costa Rica is your best bet. It's affordable, beautiful, and genuinely welcoming. This is where your next chapter begins. Now I want to hear from you. Are you over 70, or do you have parents or grandparents planning international travel? Comment below and tell us where you're watching from. So there you have it, the 7 countries where flying after 70 comes with new rules, new opportunities, and new possibilities in 2026. Some places are tightening up, others are opening wide. But the key is knowing where you stand and planning ahead. Whether you're visiting family, chasing sunshine, or starting a new life abroad, these countries offer paths forward. Which one would you choose? Drop a comment, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep this conversation going. Safe travels, and remember, age is just a number. Your journey is just beginning.